Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be making some glittery baubles. I know it's only August, but glittery baubles can be used for all sorts of things throughout the year, and these ones are just a little bit more special. So this is the one today that I'm going to be making with you, and I've done it for a baby girl design. You can just see it there, it says baby girl on it, and the glitter is lovely and sparkly. So I'm going to show you how to put the glitter inside the bauble. These are the type that split apart into two. I've done a gold one as well, so we're going to show you a couple of different methods of gluing the glitter inside the bauble there. I'm just using cheap crafting glitters, kiddies glitters. I bought these at my wholesaler, but you can get them at Poundland, Home Bargains, Wilko, all those sorts of stores, probably the Range as well. But I just bought the pink and the gold to try out for this video. I'll go through all of the equipment and all of the bits that you'll need. I've obviously personalised it with my Cricut as well, so I'll go through that. So let's start glittering. So first of all then, let's just go through the materials that we're going to need for these baubles. So I've got my clear two-piece baubles. I bought these from Amazon online last year. I will try and find a link for them and pop it in the description down below for you. But you can also buy these at places like Home Bargains and B&M. So these are, I think, the 7cm ones. Let me just measure that. Yeah, so these are the 7cm, and I found these to be really just the perfect size for making nice gifty baubles. Of course you can fill them with whatever you want, but we are using glitter today. So I've got my pink glitter and I've got some gold as well. This one is a little bit more of a coarse glitter, and this one seems to be a little finer, so we'll see which one performs better. I've just got a paintbrush for putting the glue around my bauble. Then I've got some washable PVA. This is nothing special, it's just your standard school white glue. And then I've got some little raffia twiney stuff to hang my baubles up with afterwards. So I've got a piece of just standard A4 paper that I'm going to fold in half. And the reason I'm going to fold it in half is because I am going to use this to catch all of my excess glitter and then pop it back into the tub afterwards. So this has got a seal on it, I think. Let's just get that out of there. Okay. Pop the lid back on there. So I'm just going to pop some glue in. I don't think I need to go crazy with it. Just a little blob should do. And this stuff dries clear, so we shouldn't see any glue when we have put the glitter inside and it's all dried. You need to make sure we've got good coverage though and covered all of the bits that we want to cover. So just use your paintbrush and go all the way around it. And then I'm going to do the other one whilst I've got it open, because PVA is a little bit like tacky glue. If you leave it a little bit to just set for a few minutes, it does go really tacky and it works better. So leaving it for a couple of minutes while we just do the other one won't hurt. Okay. So you can see we've covered all of the inside of that bauble in the glue. To grab our glitter, this is the fun part. So I'm just actually going to take the top off. I'm going to pop in a little bit of glitter. That's probably just over a teaspoon's worth. And then I'm going to put my bauble together and close it up, make sure it's pressed together well. And then I'm going to just swirl it around inside, give it a little shake until the inside of my bauble is totally covered in glitter. Okay, and then I'm going to open it onto my paper, and then I should be able to fold it up nicely and get all of my excess back into my I'm just going to tap it. Look how lovely that looks inside. So I'm hoping that we'll get the same effect once that glue has dried. So I've just gone onto the images tab and I've found this baby girl image that I like. So this is the image number if you'd like to use it. And then just click on continue so that it inserts it onto your canvas. I've measured the bauble and I think it needs to be about 5 centimetres across. So now that I know that, I'm just going to use the resized rag handle on the right hand corner to just drag that up to the size that I want it to be. Doing it this way makes sure that all the proportions of the design stay the same. Let's just click on make it now. And it's just popped it onto the mat there. It's in the top left corner, so that's perfect. So we know now how to arrange our mat. This is the album that I keep all of my scraps in for my vinyls. So I'm going to just have a look. Oops, I'm just going to have a quick look through and see what I've got that will look nice with the pink bauble. So I'm thinking that might clash a little bit. Let's go then for, I think we'll just go plain white. So let's have a look what we've got in here. Because it's such a tiny design, I don't want to use a massive piece. So this is a good project for getting rid of some scraps. Don't know what brand, that might be Arteza. Might use that one actually because it's a nice and easy one to weed. Okay, let's pop those back in there. This is what I use for all the bigger scrap pieces, all my tiny pieces that I've got like offcuts and stuff. Like this bit I'll put into a little plastic box. But I keep this on hand with all my big pieces in, all nice and flat. So that's a really good tip for you there. So now obviously because we've used a load of glitter, we want to make sure there's none on our desk because we don't want it to stick to our sticky Cricut mat. So make sure you've cleaned all of the glitter up and that there's none left on your table before you get started. So I'm literally just going to cut this piece of vinyl into a more square shape, and then I'm going to pop it onto my mat. Let's just remove the protective cover. Let's flip it round this way so it's got centimetres at the top. I'm going to pop my piece of vinyl just on the top there. Okay. And I'm going to grab a squeegee and just give it a little braid down. I'm not going to use my roller because this mat's virtually brand new, so it should stick really well. Let's just cut this on the machine. Now that I've got my mat set up, I'm going to just go into my settings on the computer screen and select by base material. I'm going to use the premium vinyl setting and I'm leaving my pressure setting at the default for this project. If you find when you're doing something really delicate like this that your Cricut starts to lift the vinyl, you may want to change your pressure setting to less pressure, and that sometimes does help with that problem. That cut really quickly, as I was expecting it to, because it's only a small design. I'm just going to turn it around so I haven't got my hands all over my mat. I'm just going to grab a little knife and cut off the excess vinyl. Don't press too hard if you're doing this on your mat because you could go through your mat as well. Oh, look how sticky that is. That's the problem, isn't it? Okay, so that's on there, and I'm going to weed it on the mat as well because it makes life a million times easier. This is just the Cricut flat weeding tool. It's one of my favourite ones. It's a bit bent. It's had a lot of use. I'm going to use my pin pen as well on this just because it does a lot of smaller intricate pieces more easily. So let's start off with the main body of the weeding. So pull that off, start in the corner and lift it. Okay, and I'm going to take it back at a 90-degree angle with my fingers, and I'm going to carefully encourage all the other pieces to come with it, because this is such a small, intricate design. It's really easy to end up with stuff stuck to your negative weeding. When I say negative weeding, I mean the bits that we're taking out. Alright, that was a bit of a faff to weed. I'm not going to lie about that at all, because it was very small and probably would have been better if I have reverse weeded it on the bauble, using the reverse weeding technique that I showed you a few weeks ago. I will link that video down below for you in the description box and above, so you can see what I'm on about if you haven't seen that video. I'm just going to flick this over now and release the vinyl from the mat. This is why I said you need to make sure you've got all your glitter up, because I always flip the mat over. I've still got a little bit of glitter on there, which is annoying because I really tried hard to clean that up. Again, I'm using my favourite Detape low tack transfer paper. This is from MDP Supplies, but you can get it on Amazon occasionally as well. I'm just going to pop it onto there, as close to the edge as I can, and then I'm just going to use my craft knife to cut around that. I've got a whole video on this particular transfer paper, which I will link again above and down below for you, so you can see that I use this transfer paper for everything. So I'm just going to flip it back over now and just peel it back. There's my design. Okay, so here is our design on our transfer paper, and here's our bauble. So obviously it's round in shape, and it's not that simple to put something that is flat onto something that is round. So it's a good idea, if you can, to put some slits into your transfer paper. So first of all, I'm going to take this bauble apart carefully, just to allow me to work with it a little bit easier. And I think in future what I will do when doing these is actually put the decal on before I put the glitter inside, because I think it will be easier to work with that way. So I'm going to cut a few slits into the side of this transfer paper, and it's just going to help me to manipulate the paper when I'm putting it onto my bauble. So I'm just going to go all the way around with a few slits with my scissors. You could also, with this design, if you wanted to, make it into two lines, so you could take off baby and then put that separately onto your bauble, or do it the other way around, whichever is easier for you. But I'm going to pop it all down in one go. So I'm going to just pop that onto there in the middle, and I'm going to just have a look at it, pick it up and might move it down a touch. And I just want to check that it's as straight as it can be. Okay, so now I'm going to start with the G, and I'm going to just go around and press that down carefully. And then what I'll do is start from this eye and work my way outwards. And I'm going to try and wrinkle my transfer paper rather than wrinkling my vinyl. But if I get a couple of little wrinkles, I can work with that afterwards and smooth it out. Once I've got my bottom word applied, I like to give it a good press down with my fingers, but then peel back my transfer paper, because sometimes having it all stuck down in one go can actually make it more difficult to stick it down on top. See how that's gone flat now? And that's going to help us with adhering the top part. So I'm just going to pop that off there a second. Because of the bend in the actual bauble, it's moved the word on the top, So I'm just going to get that off, and to get that off quickly, just give it a good pull really fast, like you were taking off a plaster or something. Okay, and I'm going to cut off this piece of spare transfer paper. Then I'm going to pop this back down where I want it to be. So this Y is virtually touching the L here, which is fine, but if I'd have put it down in one go, it would have been over it, I think. So I'm going to just pop that down. I'm going to put it back together because there's glitter going all over the shop at the moment. Just pop that back together. This makes it easier to hold as well, really. Okay, and I'm just going to press it along very gently. Again, wrinkling the transfer paper, not the vinyl underneath. And then carefully peel that back. And once it's on, we can smooth it out and make sure it's stuck down nicely. So I've just got a length of white satin ribbon. This is the Hobbycraft ribbon that you get excuse me, when you go into the checkout area at Hobbycraft. And I'm just going to make myself a little hand tied bow. Should have made this a little bit longer. A little bit okay. Okay, I'm going to just snip off these ends, and I will go over those with a lighter as well, just to make them nice and neat. While the glue gun's just heating up, I'm going to just put my twine through the top of my bauble. You could also, if this was for a baby girl, put the little girl's name on the back just to make it personalised. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this into a little knot. And what I like to do is cut off the ends of that. And then I'll put that knot at the front there, where the bow is going to go, so the bow will cover up the knot, and it gives a nice clean looking loop for people to hang it up with. So let's just see if okay, so my glue gun's ready. So let's get a blob of glue on here now. And we can pop on our bow. There. Hold everything up until it's gone off a little bit. There we go. A beautiful glittered bauble for a special baby girl. So I hope you have enjoyed this video and that you found it useful, and I hope that you'll give it a go and have a try at making some glittered baubles now. Of course, they don't have to be for Christmas, they can be for any occasion. This one was a baby girl one, and I didn't personalise this one, but I might save this for Christmas. I would recommend to you, if you want to do some of these for Christmas, get your supplies in now. I know it's August, but last year when I ordered these in July of 2020 on Amazon, I got a big pack of them for $7.99, and as you can imagine, the price just went up towards Christmas, and by October, November time, there was not a split bauble to be had on the internet. So if you want to do some of these, you fancy doing it, stock up with your supplies now. I'll link everything down below, and I hope you'll give it a go. Let me know in the comments what you've done with yours, what colours of glitter you've used and all that sort of stuff. I'd love to hear from you. All that's left to be said now is have a great week, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!